All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. Gonna see if it has BSS for either of these two Google searches. So we're back here in the GBC universe, taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. Learn more about that, pin post, pin profile, whatever. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. We're missing people somewhere on our intent ladder here. Either the high intent people or low intent people or mid intent people. Here on this profile, this channel, this brand, we talk about BSS, boudoir search sameness, which we'll get into. But we focus on the highest intent people. People search for boudoir photo shoots right now on social search and Google search, literally typing it in because that's what we want right now. On our other brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, we talk about BLCS on our other profiles. And right now we work with boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, boudoir search sameness, means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. 0 slots on page 1, that's killing us because we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never go past page 1. So, and we want to deal with that 80% pack, that's the majority, that only stick on page 1, which means if we got 0 slots, we're invisible to them. If we got 1 slot, we're still essentially invisible because everyone else on the front page 1 has got 1 slot as well. So we don't stand out. They're just going to click through, click everyone's link over on everyone's, website, fill out the contact form. We actually are, what we teach here, so we want to hit the GBC minimum of actually 3 out of 10 on page 1. That means, they'll see our name 3 times on page 1. It's totally doable if using the correct strategy. And that looks totally different than everyone else having 1. Sometimes, occasionally, someone will have 2, but dude, if we got 3, no, basically no one else will have 3. Ideally, we want to have as many as possible, but 3, definitely doable. Any boudoir photographer can do. 0, 1, though, that's bad because 0, 1 slots on page 1 on Google is not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. The first root cause that everyone knows about, market saturation. And that is, more boudoir photographers entering the market, every day, every week. Seems like anytime everyone gets a new iPhone, they're throwing up their Google My Business profile, throwing up their website, saying they now do boudoir photo shoots, which clusters page 1 on Google, and probably kicking us off of there, kicking us down to page 2 where we're invisible and we're dead from page 2 of Google. But the bigger problem that nobody's pointed out, I've never seen anyone point this out before, and what I've seen as the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses is the false belief of page 1 equality. Is a false belief that every boudoir photographer is entitled or can have either 0 or 1 slots on page 1. So if I have my 1 slot, okay, I'm cool, I'm chilling. Or there's more market saturation. All right, I got pushed off page 1, now I'm on page 2, but I got 1 slot on page 2, but that's fine. So I'm 0 slots on page 1, 1 slot on page 2, but that's how it is. That's the game. No, incorrect. I'm from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in 10 days. We can actually take as much page 1 real estate as we want to put in the work to take. And because people resign themselves to, okay, either 0, 1 slot, it's like people haven't even tried to take more slots when Google wants to give the slots to the people that wants the slots the most. That's the goal of Google, and obviously the most relevant search term to the user search. Now, a boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, so 0, 1 slots on page 1 of Google, that's boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Because if they're on page 1, they got 1 slot, they look the same as everyone else, they're essentially invisible. They're going to be outcompeted, price shopped. And if they're on page 2 or anything, they're dead. 80% ain't even going there. And the precursor to a disappearing boudoir photography business is having BSS becoming a disappearing boudoir photographer. That's the first time. That's like the canary in the coal mine. But we got the solution because we know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. We know that because we invented it. It's actually been utilizing it about the last 7 months. Happy with its results, so we're bringing it to market now. And S-Cube methodology is actually a system that allows us to take as much search real estate as possible on Facebook search, Instagram search, TikTok search, and YouTube search. And once we take that real estate, the back end effect is taking as many slots on page one of Google as we want, or as we put in the effort to acquire. And the special thing about S-Cube methodology, this is the only thing, literally the only thing that I've seen that can successfully outcompete market saturation. The only thing that can do it within, make progress towards it within 30 days, visible progress. Obviously, the only other thing would be brand, but that takes years to build. But if we want to fight back against market saturation, literally in the next month, we can do that S-Cube methodology. And also, it's the only thing I've seen that even if there are 1 million boudoir photographers in our city, and we decided, so super maximum market saturation, they got their website, whatever. Each one's got their website. If we took S-Cubed methodology to the max, and we, ranked the first 300 slots across all social search for, boudoir photographer, whatever, Charlotte, North Carolina, that then flows to Google. So basically anywhere any woman searches for a boudoir photographer, Charlotte, North Carolina, we've taken up the first 300 slots, and Google, each page is 10 slots, so we're taking out the first, 30 pages of Google. Our business will be fine. Our business will be growing. We'll be the fastest growing business in the city, even though there's 999 other boudoir photographers, because we successfully used S-Cube methodology to outcompete market saturation. That's the magic of it. Well, one of the magic things of it. There's also some more magical things on the back end. Now, once treated with S-Cube methodology, we have page one visibility. So we want to hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 local, 3 out of 10 for our city. Because if we got 0 on page 1, or on page 2, we're dead. If we got 1 on page 1, we're still invisible, still basically dead. So, we'll be price shopped to death. 2, that's better. There's a chance that someone else will have 2 though. 3, basically no one else is going to have 3. So then we'll definitely be standing out versus the 1 slotters, and we'll also still be standing out against the 2 slotters if we got 3 slots. The extra bonus is every new link that we get on page 1, we kick competing boudoir photographers off page 1, effectively making them invisible. So either we do it to them, or eventually someone in our city is probably going to use this strategy and do it to us. And if they're working with me, well, I'm only working with one person in the city at a time, so y'all got to figure out how to do this yourself and put in the time to actually execute it. And page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. Okay, so we're actually being seen in search because we got 3 out of 10. We hit the GBC minimum. We can go higher, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. But we want to hit the GBC minimum. Because we get more and more visible, higher and higher chance people come to us, less and less chance people price shop, and there's fewer boudoir photographers to price shop against on page 1. So we're going back, we're kicking our competitors completely off page 1, making them essentially invisible. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So it's our full micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the 2 horns of market saturation and page 1 equality. And we got the solution now, S-Cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility, we become a visible boudoir photographer, and boudoir search, and we have boudoir search visibility. And that's starting the momentum. We can take this momentum as far as we want to go to also be dominating page 1, as many slots as we want to go for. Now, this is my results using this. Was bringing basically ranking for this term up at the top. Bring it out here eventually. Term is BLCS Boudoir. All right, here we go. BLCS Boudoir. It's for the other account, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, the other accounts, the other brand. So we see we got the AI overview, which is not me yet. Got the Google Map Pack, And then we got, here we go. Now we are at the organic. So I got slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, slot 6, slot 7, slot 8, and slot 10. So I got 9 out of 10 slots, did this in 10 days. Someone searching BLCS Boudoir. Who are they coming to? Obviously me. It's person number 9. I don't stand any chance. And this is in 10 days. I could keep going. I could take, eventually, I believe, takes that slot 9 as well. And so these are my results doing this. So now we're here to the main event, the main course. Gonna see if this boudoir photographer has, BSS for either of these Google searches. So local search and a city search. So let's see. So first looking in Gretna, Nebraska. And we got, all right, so we're going to the organic search. So we got 1. Yeah, we got 2. Well, we don't have the word boudoir here. So we don't count that. Slot 3 here. We got boudoir, that counts as 2. I think micro photography. Okay, we'll count the 2 without the boudoir. We'll count that as 1. So we got 3 out of 10 slots. Here we go. 4 out of 10 slots. Here's a boudoir. Here's a one that has boudoir on it, and boudoir right there. 5. And then we got, and then let's see. Looks like we got 6 here actually. So we got 6 out of 10 for local search. So this is super amazing. And all right, so local search is perfect. And now we're going to go to city search, Omaha, Nebraska. So we're going to go down to the organic. Let's see how many we got local search as well. First for the city search. So we got, all right, we got, nope, 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 no. All right, so it looks like, all right, dude, we're literally pulling in 0 peeps from Omaha. So we literally got 0 out of 10. So we definitely got BSS for the second search, the city search. But so Gretna, no BSS. We actually hit the GBC minimum, at least 3 out of 10. And Omaha, Nebraska, we're not hitting the, we do have BSS and we're not hitting the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. All right, so if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've gone to do the local search and the city search with the highest intent boudoir by your keywords, and you either got BSS for one of those searches or you're not reaching the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 Google slots. So you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, which now you know. It's kind of the warning light, canary in the coal mine to eventually disappear in boudoir photography business. And you understand page 1 inequality is, the false belief page 1 inequality is exactly that, a false belief. And so you're kind of broken out of the mind cage. You're like, all right, we can take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want. So I've decided I'm going to put in the effort to do that. And so you're seeing S-cubed methodology is the exact solution you've been looking for. And you also understand, the market saturation is kind of naturally as people get new gear, more boudoir photographer sellers for the same number of, competing for the same number of buyers. And as a result, you are, you're liking the initial benefit of more page 1 slots on Google. You're definitely liking the second initial benefit of, basically of more peeps being kicked off page 1 on Google. And as a result, you're liking those initial benefits, and then you actually are thinking ahead to some future benefits, which is, man, AI is going to be taking so many people's jobs, and that's actually going to be the largest bringer of boudoir photographers into the market, massively increasing the number of sellers. And you're like, all right, I actually got a third benefit. I need to basically fortify my position on Google page 1. I need to have so many links on page 1, Google can't even fit them there. And Google's like, hold my links in backup to be on page 1 because I got too many links that could and should be ranking on page 1 to prevent any of these AI forced people who are losing their jobs that become boudoir photographers to ever even get on page one. Kind of like fortifying the levees in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city is below sea level. So you're seeing kind of future benefit. S-Cube's methodology is the only thing that can give that benefit. And you're also seeing that the other future benefits, basically, as we do S-Cube methodology for more and more keywords, we're building out these invisible thematic keyword columns around our brand, around our business. And when we do that, it's kind of like, columns at the Parthenon in Athens, or like, think of like our business, our brand name as kind of the hub out on the internet, and then all these spokes, kind of like a bicycle wheel, going into the hub or coming out of the hub. This is basically building up AI mindshare for those thematic keywords, where it's looking at repetition, relevance, frequency, age, authority. How long we've been associated with these keywords, how many times, where we're ranking. And every day we successfully execute S-Cube methodology, we're actually increasing the probability of being recommended up here up top with the AI overview. And when we successfully rank for the AI overview, we are we're actually able, higher chance of getting this premium slot, can't even pay for the slot with ads, this AI overview slot. And I believe it's only one person showing at a time here. And so that's a future benefit. Also, in the same breath, we're increasing the probability that we get recommended AI search, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Increased probability AI search recommends us. And yeah, Google search is still approximately 90% of global search. But dude, AI search is growing literally every single day. And as a result, we are increasing the chance to get recommended there. Last time I used AI search to search for boudoir photographer in the city was it gave me 3. This is ChatGPT. It gave me 3. Then I went kind of like manually search, on Google, Facebook, and it turns out there was like 60. So I'm like, man, we gotta find a way to get in these 3 slots in kind of like any way possible. And so you're liking that future benefit. You're also liking that my plan right now is to work with only one boudoir photographer per city. So you're seeing that since you decide to be a first mover and hop on this, you can actually prevent all your competitors from using this strategy. And because of that, you'll be able to get like massive momentum, page 1 slots kicking them off page 1, massive fortification momentum, massive back-end AI mindshare momentum with all these invisible thematic keywords being, basically plugged into your brand and growing that AI mindshare, increase the probability of AI search overview and AI search recommendation you're showing up for, and basically building a gap so big none of your current competitors can catch it, nor any new entrants coming from AI taking people's jobs can catch it. And conversely, you're saying that if one of your competitors were, to start working with me and use the strategy first in your same city, then they would get all those benefits. We'd be building up a massive gap with them, with AI mindshare against you, kicking your links off page 1 of Google, and you would actually have to, then go and rederive S-Cube methodology for yourself, derive it the first time, then go execute it every single day correctly. And then once you do that, you would actually, if you equaled our output, you would literally be maintaining the gap with me and your competitor had already built against you. So you'd actually have to like double or triple our output in order to, basically in order to close the gap, kind of pull that AI mindshare from me and your competitor back over to you. But how's one gonna do 2 to 3x the effort when they aren't even 100% confident they've derived S-Cube methodology correctly in the first place? It's even worth investing all that time. So you've decided, screw it. I ain't missing this chance. I ain't missing this opportunity. I'm simply going to be the first mover and get rolling. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. My DMs are currently closed. The hospital is not currently accepting new patients. But when we do open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot us a DM, and we will see if you qualify to utilize our S-Cubed methodology.